Right, hello. Wow, what am I seeing here? I think Eoneru is actually going to be playing with the flashlight. Oh, what is going on? Well, we're just having a. I think the client just got shocked at what Eoneru is right now. Right now, what's going on? I think Eoneru is actually trying to dodge the flow. Never mind. Like, my goodness, is the vision of Eoneru just restricted? And they're really trying to dodge every fruit that's there. Doing a pretty good job, actually. I'm pretty sure HyperDream doesn't have a warm-up right now, so I think we should be proceeding with the rolls and the bands unless there is. Oh, that's a very high roll for Eoneru. So that just means that HyperDream is going to get the first ban. So Red will be banning first here, and I'm actually curious to see what HyperDream is going to be banning first. At least we'll be waiting. Wait, no, HyperDream has the first ban, not Eoneru. Well, that was a funny. But alright, so Nomad 2 is gonna be HyperDream's ban. Looking at the statistics, it does look like Eoneru has a chance. Sorry, versus HyperDream when it comes to the Nomad select. That makes up. And yeah, so Hard Rock 3 is going to be the same ban. Actually makes a lot of sense because Hyperdream I think has the second highest score on the Hard Rock. Eoneru wants to that out of sense. So just a recap, Nomad 2 is the ban of HyperDream, and Hard Rock 3 is going to be the ban for Eoneru. So Eoneru is going for the Nomad 1 pick to start. I mean, absolutely gotta take the picture probably more comfortable. I think one makes a lot of sense. start actually. Never seems to be dropping it. Kind of unusual start. HyperDream a little bit comparison because once again, Nomad seems to be edged ahead. It's an unfortunate start, I have to say, but of course it's still very early on, so there's still a lot of opportunity. Good news for Eoneru though is that this is actually a 4-minute map, so there's a lot of opportunities for HyperDream to make mistakes. However, Eoneru has to hold that consistency as time is starting to really get into there. About a minute has already passed since it's already reached the quarter mark, and HyperDream is certainly very consistent right now. HyperDream is still on a roll right now with the full combo, showing proficiency on the gaps and whatever. Just a wonderful performance. Unfortunately, Eoneru finding another drop. Like, yeah, I think it's those minor mistakes that Eoneru's committing that's really making a major difference. That's been the storyline of this map so far. Again, another mistake that could have been avoided, but it happens. Gotta push through them. Lead starting to increase a lot, it's starting to get a little bit more out of reach, but HyperDream finding a drop, finally, but I think the damage has already been done. But once again, there's still a lot of time, and if HyperDream finds a lot of mistakes and Eoneru can keep that consistency, anything can still happen, but unfortunately Eoneru finds another drop. Even though Eoneru has sort of built up the consistency at the very end, with a 160 combo, I unfortunately think it's too late as HyperDream takes the first point and a break point at that. Super good play for HyperDream, conceding 5 misses. Fortunately, on their side, that is going to be 137. That is a lot compared to how much HyperDream had, but I've absolutely no time to waste right now. Have to move on. Just probably do whatever you can on the next picks. Still not over yet. Definitely still so much time. Still decide the fate of this match. HyperDream's on the board 1-0 right now. Or HyperDream I choose. Interesting. Well, actually in the qualifier, Eoneru had a slightly higher score than HyperDream. Quite an interesting choice. But then again, mean, you need to be really careful with that. Once again, you have to analyze the advantages and disadvantages of every player, no matter how big or small that is against you. Right now, Eoneru has a slight advantage given that HyperDream dropped those tiny droplets. But accuracy is certainly up there. Can definitely stay if both of them perfectly. So this can stay absolutely, but again, you have to be really careful. As I say that Eoneru fighting a drop, those fruits certainly need to be catched. Like absolutely, those bigger ones are much more important than the smaller ones. Absolutely, accuracy matters a lot in this game, but consistency is another factor you should never ever overlook. Because right now, the combo that HyperDream is maintaining right now is really high in comparison to what Eoneru has as of this moment. Though this is not an impossible lead yet, just have to make sure that they can be careful enough to ensure that they'll be able to push through this accuracy and consistency whatsoever. That one drop from HyperDream could start something up. Honestly, you have to be really concerned now. If you're HyperDream, Eoneru is reeling this lead back. But the consistency has been a little bit of a problem in Eoneru, at least based on the first map. Time is running out right now. Like, there's only a little bit of... still room for error, for mistakes actually. So if Eoneru can keep this up, then this lead at HyperDream right now, it can be gone in a few seconds. If they make another mistake, it's essentially over. This map is super close right now. Absolutely, 33,000 points is close. Time is of the essence here. Can there be a moment where Eoneru gets the room, take the lead back, or will HyperDream keep this up and maintain the consistency that they've been showing this entire match? It looks like that's gonna be the trend. HyperDream's consistency, and that drop from Eoneru is gonna be the nail in the coffin. Absolutely good job from Eoneru to keep that consistency for a while. But HyperDream trades it back, though Eoneru misses right after. That should do it. HyperDream takes the second point, keeping the fortress, securing the point. That's absolutely all that HyperDream needs to do. And now we're up to a 2-0 start for HyperDream. Not the best start for Eoneru right there, but definitely showing signs that they are slowly keeping up. Like, look at this. It looks like that Eoneru just dropped a lot of misses in a few sections, while HyperDream just dropped super few as well. That's really the difference. Now, what does Eoneru choice? After taking, gotta be careful with that. So like that's gonna be the case with Nomad. TC, different Heaven remix rather. So yeah, we're going for a convert pick. Selection. And we're just waiting for both players to get ready. And she would sing. So here's the problem now. Eoneru finding a few boxes. The problem right now is that Eoneru's start is not exactly something you'd want to see, especially if you're in a position where you absolutely need all the points you can get. Like every time HyperDream makes a mistake, Eoneru just trades one back, and this is not what you want to do. The trades always benefit the one with the advantage. So actually this lead is starting to get a little bit smaller. Can Eoneru hold the consistency that he absolutely has right now? In fact, the accuracy is actually dropping faster than a while ago. But again, consistency is the one that matters more here. So those big hoops start to save a bigger price. Wow, like the trade just keep on happening. This is not going to help Eoneru in some way, but But wait, HyperDream finds a big drop. This can actually switch things up if Eoneru can keep his consistency. Never mind, the trade happens again. HyperDream just going to go with it. But, oh, never mind, Eoneru finding another trade. I think that does it actually. HyperDream probably takes this point. Another drop. And I think that should do it. HyperDream is going to take another break point. And that is not a good position at all. 2 breakpoints ahead is typically momentum changing rather. It was a difference of 10 misses. That is actually not that much, but still a difference nonetheless.
I want a hand tied girl for me to make me happy. I want her so I can't stop using my hands every single day while watching anime. I pull her from my screen just like in my dreams. I want to feel her touch, mainly on my crutch. I want my own hand tied girl, and she will sing.
So now, HyperDream going for Hard Rock 2. That makes a lot of sense actually. HyperDream as a Hard Rock player is really good in that kind of mod. So yeah, I mean, I think Hard Rock actually makes a lot of sense. Considering the player that HyperDream is, I think absolutely need to make a pick like that. One thing I forgot about this episode, ridiculous continuity. It's just relentless defense in general. But it just goes on and on and on with barely any break. It's very low surface size there, but it just absolutely goes on and on. It just never stops going. And HyperDream and Eoneru actually trade. Though I think Eoneru has a slight bigger cargo than HyperDream. It's gonna matter a lot because like, yeah, the circle size is big. But it doesn't really make these set of foods going down continuously any easier. It just goes continuously without any room for eating or whatever. But anything hard rock, I would say HyperDream certainly shines on that one. So it makes a lot of sense that HyperDream would go for the hard rock mix. Though every time HyperDream makes a mistake, Eoneru trades one back. And even worse is that Eoneru actually takes another one as time progresses. goodness. Both players really there. And ooh, Eoneru finding a very dirty miss. It's actually not that big of a difference if you look at it in the big picture. But wow, that was a performance. HyperDream is going to be taking the 4th point, 4-0, 28-71. The misses certainly tell a different story for both players. HyperDream is super consistent, while Eoneru, unfortunately, was dropping a lot here. So yeah, Eoneru going for hidden 2. Looks like it. And actually looking at the qualifier statistics, it does seem that Eoneru has a slight advantage over HyperDream in that, and I think it's okay, it's fair, as long as you know that you can probably win those picks, then it's certainly a good choice to make.
You saw it.
My bad about that one. Though, it does look like Eoneru is able to play this. I don't know, low AR sort of maps would actually benefit Eoneru. Wait a minute. It's almost the exact same in terms of accuracy, but HyperDream is on disadvantage actually. Eoneru has to be careful right now. This is their chance to take a point off HyperDream and hopefully get back into the match. It's ridiculously close right now. With only 8,000, 10,000 points of difference. It's gonna start to get bigger as the combo starts to increase. I think HyperDream is just really trying to catch the bigger fruits, which ultimately makes a lot of sense. Can't really just hope. You can't just really hope for them to be, perfect in terms of this. Absolutely, you need to make sure you can keep this consistency up ahead. Eoneru, unfortunately finding a miss. That is not what you want to do. It's this section. This is a very crucial part of the match. Can Eoneru make this a turning point? HyperDream has the advantage right now, but it's not going to be too much. Eoneru finds another drop though. This low AR is benefiting Eoneru on the accurate side. Wait a second, HyperDream finds a drop, but that's not going to be too much. Oh, HyperDream finds another one. Eoneru trades one back. The accuracy advantage is certainly on Eoneru's side, but I don't think that matters. So HyperDream finds another miss. Oh my goodness, this can start to really change. Oh, Eoneru finds a drop. Oh, it's gonna be so challenging. Can HyperDream actually win this point? It looks like it, but I don't know. And that should do it, I think. That miss from Eoneru at the end is going to be the nail in the coffin. HyperDream is gonna win this by 30,000 points. 28,000 to be exact. Unfortunate. Eoneru certainly had the tools to get the point, but they had just had a few more misses, and that gave the win to HyperDream, who is now in a 5-0 position. And now, BT2 Last Christmas.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Well, let's see if any changes can happen here. Like, can Eoneru turn this around on this map? But we just have to wait and see for what HyperDream is going to be showing. And actually, both players really.
To save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten in Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
See, the thing about double time is it makes your catcher very sensitive, and I can see that HyperDream is a little bit more flexible in that regard. See, Eoneru actually is not able to catch some of these fruits, which is unfortunate if you ask me. HyperDream is just continuing the barrage of being able to catch these fruits. Eoneru's disadvantage is starting to become more evident though HyperDream finds one trade back. So this could be something that may make the lead a little bit more stable right now. Though what Eoneru needs is not something stable. Eoneru needs something that will make the lead go down rapidly. And currently HyperDream is just going to increase it after another miss from Eoneru, which is unfortunate if you ask me. We're now reaching the halfway point of the map. Eoneru finds another drop. Not what you want to see if you're Eoneru really. Remember, this is the loser's bracket, so whoever loses in this match is going to be eliminated. Another miss from Eoneru, and now we're in the break section, the halfway point. Super unfortunate, really.
Crowded room, friends are tired-eyed. I'm hiding from you and your soul eyes. Oh my God, thought you were someone to rely on.
Eoneru finding drops again. Super unfortunate. Well, HyperDream found a stable ground. We're now 1/3 is left on the map. Eoneru needs to stop already. These gaps are just incredibly big. Like, you need to make sure that you're not overshooting or undershooting your catcher. Very good performance from HyperDream to keep the consistency up. Unfortunately for Eoneru, I think that miss right there probably seals the deal for HyperDream to go to the next round of semifinals. I say next round because remember, this is a loser's bracket match and there's going to be some conditionals on the way. HyperDream has probably secured it unless something unfortunate happens. There's a little bit of time left. That's a big miss from HyperDream, but that shouldn't matter. There were so many already on Eoneru's side. HyperDream is going to take this 6-0. Unfortunate for Eoneru, but still a great fight. Some of the points were really close and could have really went to Eoneru's way if some misses didn't happen. Still a good game, well played to both players. I mean, again, absolutely a good performance from both, but HyperDream was just the stronger player here. Good performance, nothing to be upset about really. Like, they put a great fight. They put a great fight with each other, and that should do it. Now we're going to go for the winner representation, which is going to be HyperDream. Congratulations to them. And right now, we're going to look at the bracket. So it's going to be HyperDream versus Kelzu on the upper part of the losers bracket, and on the lower part we're gonna be having Mawile versus Lobster up there. Meanwhile, on the winners bracket, we're going to be having Rusty versus Isla and Roido versus Marin. Some really good matches here, and I can't wait to see how all of these will go. So the winner of these two matches will get a shot at will be in the final 6 players of the tournament, while the ones who are eliminated have already been secured of a 7th to 8th position. Great job to everyone regardless, and now all we can do really is wait, as the next matches are all going to be happening tomorrow. Can't wait to see how they'll all perform. It's going to be at 2 p.m. 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. But we should also take note of the schedule for HyperDream and Kelsu, in which we will be fixing that in a moment. Thank you so much everyone for coming to the stream, and goodbye!